say, would you like to start
Yeah, I'll
by...
introduce myself, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So my name is Eric Law. I'm a very proud Wakka man. I was born here in Cherbourg, 1950, and this has been my own. I've travelled with my family away from Cherbourg at times, but I've always come back here. So
Thank you. Tell me about your relationship with faith and spirituality.
I was introduced to faith and spirituality very early in my lifetime. My mother, who actually was brought here to Cherbourg from New South Wales, was a very strong Anglican woman, and she made sure that the 13 children that we had in the family all had that upbringing. But I was also introduced to spirituality, to our cultural spirituality, by listening to a lot of old people who were around at the time that I was growing up. And they came from every part of the state. And they were such a wonderful group of people. And just straight opposite our old house was the old men's quarters where all these wonderful old men lived. And there was great times was held by when we went down and started talking to them about things. So I had a mixture.
Thank you. So tell me what culture looks like to you.
Culture to me has always been about just one word, and that's being respectful. I can't, even for the life of me, and I'm 70 plus now, I can't understand why we as a people sometimes we make it so difficult, and yet our culture has always been so simple. I think our culture is about just being respectful, sharing and caring for one another, and just being honest with one another. And we've got to do that. It's probably more important for us in the 21st century than it's ever been. But yeah, when I was growing up, like I said, I was around these old fellas, so I got a mixture of culture from all over the state. But my old grandmother was a traditional Wakka woman here, and she made sure that we knew as much as we wanted to know about Wakka culture. But to me, as a Wakka,
You might have answered it, but what are the most challenging parts of your life at the moment?
I think the most challenging parts of my life at the moment is trying to get through to our young people. And I know that's a real battle with some old teacher, but trying to get through to our young people and trying to help them to understand our culture and try and help them to understand how our culture can help them in these very difficult times. We have a few wins every now and then, but I'm just so excited that we're teaching Wakka language in our local schools. I honestly believe that's going to be a big, big deal for us. And I've always felt that culture can't be culture unless we've got a language with it. And we put this language to our culture, then this community, especially our young people who are coming through, and we've got to remember that 75% of this community is under the age of 30. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's a young community. Yet when I was growing up, 80%. That's a tough one, but I'd like to teach people about, especially our young people and not so young people here, about the yarning circle. I would love to teach them about that, where everybody is equal, everybody is respectful, everybody is honest, and we walk away from that feeling very good about ourselves, but we've got a plan on what we've got to do. And I think that's the other thing that I would like to be able to help this community in, my community in, is being able to put some of those ideas into action. Now, they don't have to be, skyrocketing ideas, but they have to be ideas that we can manage and ideas that are attainable. I think at the moment this voice and these treaty ideas I think they're worthwhile following. But I think they're only going to work here for us if it's on a local issue. And if we can do some of that innovative stuff around the voice and around treaty on a local level, then I think it can start wildfire. Then it'll go all throughout the country. But
Off, what's the greatest hope for future generations?
greatest hope from me is that they stand up and be proud, very strong, very brave First Nations people. We've got to understand here in Cherbourg. We've got other clan groups here as well. I hope that they go back and learn a lot about their country. I think most of them, if not 95% of them, would still prefer to call Cherbourg home, but they also know they've got a link back to another group of people many, many miles away. But I hope they grow up very proud, very strong, and be able to handle because this next century, I tell you what, it's not going to be easy. And we're going to have all of our young people schooled up